This massive box behind me has what we call the MSI MPG 491QP monitor. It's larger than life, and I'll preface this video by saying, if you don't have friends, you can't buy the screen. Friends! Sorry, Gamers Nexus. Anyways, let's unbox this beauty and I'll tell you why you need people. Setting it up really is a bit tricky. First, you have to have people to help you put it on its side, open it up completely. It's a pointy. Then install the arm, which is luckily pretty easy. It just clips in. Then the stand. Then get people to help you pick it up. Okay, hold on. I take box off. Help! Put it on its side. Take off the polystyrene. Think we've done it.
Whoa.
Think we've done it.
This thing's huge.
Ta-da! Bliksem.
That thing is huge.
It's huge. And then you have this. Voila. What a beautifully unnecessarily wide but super cool and very necessary MPG 491Q CQP monitor from MSI. This is one of MSI's newest super ultra wide monitors, coming in at a whopping 49 inches or 1.2 meters for everybody who doesn't live in freedom. It is a quantum dot OLED panel. It's beautiful. Now, when it comes to specimenifications, it has just as many of those. It's a 144 Hz, 49 inch, 5120 by 1440p, 1800R curve quantum dot OLED, 32:9 aspect ratio gloriousness. But is all of the things I just mentioned worth the price tag? Is this worth buying to play flight simulator, racing games? Now, obviously, this isn't a budget-friendly screen. We have to remember not everything is supposed to be budget-friendly. We somehow see that some people have more money than we do, so they get to have big-ass things like this. So let's put the price aside. It is a massive price tag. Is it worth buying if you have that type of money available? This is a second-gen qd-oled monitor panel, meaning they have quite impressive technologies to prevent things like, well, with any quantum dot OLED screen, burn-in. That's a real problem with these screens. Now, MSI is going out of their way to make sure that this doesn't become a problem. They're even putting a warranty on the screen that includes coverage for your burn-in, which is really cool. However, even with things like pixel shift, panel protect, static screen detection, or auto-dimmable pixels, we still fight burn-in. And it would be quite annoying if MSI decides to discontinue this model and now you bought 6 and only one of them gets damaged and they can't replace one of the 6. It's just something I thought about, especially if you're going to build a whole setup. I realize that's a problem that not a lot of us will have. But I see you, Jeff. I know you had this problem once before. Okay, now where is the use case for the screen? Is it for those of us who like to use Excel? Probably not. I think this is mostly for immersive gaming. Can you think about open world RPGs, how you can just feel like you're inside of all of it? And besides for gaming, I think for us editors as well, people making a lot of videos, the real estate is incredible. It's basically like having two 27-inch screens in front of you without the bezel and also without the two of them having slight different color spaces. I don't know if you've run into the same problem before, but that's annoying. So I usually edit on my base screen, but it becomes a fighting situation in the office all the time because we don't have true color accuracy testers in here, and we'll get one soon. Please leave recommendations down below for one of those little calibrations machines thingies. That'd be great. We'll also test it out and then tell you whether it's a waste of money or not, because that's what we do here at Voodoo Tech. We waste our money so you don't have to. It's a pleasure, I know. Now you're probably wondering, what is the color accuracy like? How good is this monitor? Yes, it is an OLED panel, a quantum dot OLED panel, so it's supposed to have very good color accuracy. This is a 10-bit color support panel. It has VESA display HDR 400 with true black and pixel local dimming. meaning that your blacks are really, really black. It literally switches the pixel off when it's trying to show black. So more black than that you don't get. You'll have to use black hole technology if you want to go blacker than that. As for the actual specific color accuracy stats, we have 99% DCI-P3, 98% Adobe RGB, and a delta E of less than 2. All mumbo-jumbo words used to describe color accuracy that we can trust. The suppliers have third-party people testing the screens, making sure that what they give us is very color accurate, which is great. That's a great part of living in the 21st century with new screens because, well, don't know if you know this, but old screens usually weren't tested like this. We just got what we got. Now I just want to put this color space, the 10-bit versus 8-bit, into perspective. 8-bit color space is 16.7 million colors that it can replicate. 10-bit color is 1.07 billion colors that it can replicate with a B. That's incredible. So meaning the colors you get on here is basically the whole spectrum. There's more colors in this damn screen than on the spectrum of light. That's how it feels like, at least. But now, what about the other things? Yes, it's a good panel. Yes, it's big. And the rest? Well, if you're in a dark enough room, the HDR brightness from a quantum.OLED panel is unmatched. However, if you're in a bright room, so not even like this one, much brighter, with direct sunlight on the panel, that's where you might lose a little bit of that color depth, especially because the screen is quite glossy. And may I add, if you do put your fingerprints on this, good luck trying to get it off. It doesn't come off. I've tried my very best. There's still fingerprint mark right here. I apologize. Bad quality, I know. Sorry for my review ethics. The built-in stand that this comes with is quite big. I understand why it's a massive screen. It needs to keep itself stable. And what I appreciate about the screen is where the edge of the monitor is, you only have about 2 centimeters of this support coming out in front of it. So it doesn't feel like it's intruding into your desk space, but it does take up a lot of desk space to the back. So if it was me, I'd have a desk mount for my screen. It just looks better overall and it takes up less space. But that's just me. I do notice a little bit of wobble though. So on this desk that is a little bit flimsy, if you were to bump around, you'll see some wobbling. That's also another reason to get a sturdy desk and a monitor mount. The glossiness of this panel also has a purplish sheen. So in certain lights, if you look at it, you might get a little bit of a purple reflection. However, this doesn't have any impact on the accuracy of the colors that you're looking at like this. Also, you can basically walk like, geez, you can literally go up like this and still see absolutely everything. Now, obviously, if you're a dumbass and you go here, you won't see shit, but show me a screen that can do that. Actually, I think there's see-through screens that can do that. Anyways, I digress. Now, as I mentioned earlier in this video, this is basically like having two 27-inch panels next to each other. Now, yes, they are 1440p. However, if you have two of those, you're basically running a 4K monitor with these two panels. So you'll need a decent PC to run this thing, especially because, well, it now has 7,300,072 and 800 pixels. Oh no. I sound like somebody I've heard before.
769, 800 and...
It's a South Africa thing. You'll require a strong enough PC to handle the screen. Don't think you're going to hook up your laptop and have a great time. Just warning you. And speaking about cool things for my FPS players out there, MSI also has a built-in cheat. Now, I know this is a controversial topic to speak about, but they have a built-in crosshair, which is pretty cool, especially for things like Counter-Strike or Call of Duty even these days. They also have a feature that lets you zoom in on your scope. So imagine you're a sniper, camper, and then you zoom in and zoom in and zoom in on the screen and not on your scope. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I wouldn't use that as a selling point. And if you're buying this because you want that feature, then I don't know if I want to be your friend. F's in the chat for the noob. I feel like a streamer. So a lot of pixels, a good PC, now speed. This screen is a 144 Hz, 0.03 milliseconds response time screen. It has a VESA Clear MR8000 rating, meaning there's very little ghosting or motion blur. If you don't know, the higher the score, the less motion blur, the less ghosting you get of the objects. For example, I reviewed another MSI screen the other day that had a 13,000 score, which was above what the scales actually measured. The screen doesn't have any ghosting or motion blur or very, very little thereof. Now, if you're wondering, Stefan, 144 Hz display, bleh, MSI knew you'd think like that. That's why they have a X version of the screen that brings 240 Hz to the table. But you'll pay for it. Now, next up, let's look at some of the ports. You've got USB Type-C port, also gives you 90 watts of power supply, which is a lot. You can basically run a laptop off of the screen, a productivity laptop even. Not really a gaming laptop that goes up to like 200 and something watts, but 90 watts is a lot. The USB Type-C also even allows you to do display via it, so that's really convenient. There is even a nice built-in USB hub that gives you 2 USB 2.0 Type-A ports. There's also a DisplayPort 1.6a and 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, which are specifically useful if you're playing on a console, because this screen has built-in console mode, which gives you 120 Hz variable refresh rate and auto low latency mode. It helps you enhance your gaming experience while not overloading your console. I think to conclude, is the screen worth picking up? Well, if you get it on a discounted price, it might actually be. It's not for everybody, obviously. However, it is a very high-end, very big, ultra-wide screen. It has minimal ghosting, high refresh rate, especially if you get the X model, and the fact that MSI has gone as far as saying we'll give you a 3-year warranty on the burn-in on the screen. I think it puts a little bit of perspective behind how they're visioning the long-term life of an investment like this screen. In my personal opinion, if you're a hardcore gamer, especially for immersive games, great buy. If you just want to work on it, think about the fact that you have to swivel your head often between your different tabs. However, if you're an editor and you need a long timeline and very good color accuracy, then it might actually be a good idea. The screen is in the middle of everything, in my personal opinion. It's not so good that it's a no-brainer to buy, but it's not close to being bad that I would say avoid it. That's my professional and personal opinion here at We Do Tech, spending money so you don't have to. My name is Stefan. I'll see you in the next video, and please remember to subscribe. Almost at 100,000 subscribers. Let's go. Bye.